Hey everyone, it's me, Matthew. Welcome back. I'm glad you're here. Last time we talked about King David and how God made a covenant with him, saying that Jesus was going to come from his family. How cool. We also learned that his son, Solomon, became king after him and asked God for wisdom, becoming one of the wisest people to ever live. Today, we're going to be talking about how the Israelites were captured by the Babylonians. Ooh, let's go.
Bible story time.
Bible story time. Things fall apart for the Israelites after the reign of King Solomon. The kingdom splits into two kingdoms, the northern kingdom and the southern kingdom, and both have some good kings, but the majority of the kings that rule are evil, and they lead the Israelite people away from God and into disobedience by worshiping other gods. Not such a good day. As a result, God punishes his people for their disobedience, and as punishment, the Israelites are captured by the Babylonians. Now, before we get to there, we need to jump ahead in the Bible a little bit. The stories that we've been talking about so far have been sort of following the layout of the Bible, from Genesis to 2 Kings. But now we have to jump ahead to the book of Daniel. And in this book of Daniel, you probably figured it out, we're going to be talking about a man named Daniel and how his captivity in Babylon went. And the Babylonians are ruled by a king named Nebuchadnezzar. And after conquering the Israelites, he started a program to mesh the two nations together. Sort of like a re-education program. He calls his chiefs and asks them to bring the smartest and the healthiest young people from Israel to learn about the Babylonian culture. This program was going to last about 3 years, and they had to eat the king's food and drink the king's drink in order to keep them strong. And you could probably have guessed it by now, but Daniel and his 3 friends were part of this group of young people that went to Babylon. Question: how would you feel about being a part of this program? Talk about it. I would feel nervous and scared, and I'd probably try to go with the flow and keep my head down and not make a scene of anything. But not Daniel and his friends. They trusted in God. They're given new names, and they were told that they must eat the king's food and drink the king's drink. But God gave the Israelites a law that told them they couldn't eat certain foods. And Daniel and his friends knew about this law and wanted to keep obeying God, even while in captivity. So Daniel goes and makes a request to those in charge of him, and he asks, "Excuse me, but may me and my friends not eat the king's food?" God gave Daniel and his friends favor and compassion with those overseeing them, and they responded with, "I fear my lord the king, who has assigned you the food and drink. For if he sees that you are in poor condition because of you not eating, it'll be my head on the platter. Test us for 10 days. Give us vegetables to eat and water to drink. Then judge us on our appearance based on those who ate the king's food, and let you be the judge of this." The ones in charge agreed to this, and after 10 days they compared Daniel and his friends to those who ate the king's food. Daniel and his friends appeared stronger and healthier in appearance than those who ate the king's food. So the ones in charge took away the king's food from Daniel and his friends and gave them vegetables instead. Question: would you have been able to stand up for your faith like Daniel did? Talk about it. That's a tough question. I would like to think that I would, but when I get super scared or nervous, I tend to not act like myself. Because of their faith, God gave Daniel and his friends understanding and skill in all literature and wisdom, and he gave Daniel the ability to understand visions and dreams. When the 3 years are up, the chiefs in charge have to bring the youth of Israel to King Nebuchadnezzar to show what they've learned. When presented, David and his friends are well above the rest in understanding and wisdom. And in fact, they are 10 times more wise than all the magicians and enchanters in the king's kingdom. Pretty impressive. King Nebuchadnezzar has a dream, and he calls his magicians and enchanters to tell him what his dream meant. The only thing is, King Nebuchadnezzar didn't tell the enchanters or magicians what his dream was. When the enchanters and magicians couldn't tell him what his dream meant, he got angry and starts to threaten that he's going to start tearing people from limb to limb. Ugh. Pretty scary. Daniel gets word of this and asks God to give him what King Nebuchadnezzar's dream was, as well as the meaning of it. God provides for Daniel. Daniel goes to the king and tells the king what the dream meant, that it was about the future, and that God was the one who gave him the understanding and what the dream was. King Nebuchadnezzar is impressed. He's blown away, and he actually honors God by making a proclamation, a loud statement that God is the God of gods and the Lord of kings, and that he is a revealer of mystery. He gives Daniel high honor and praise, and appoints Daniel to be the ruler over the province of Babylon. Daniel asks King Nebuchadnezzar for one thing as he gets promoted, that his friends, the 3 friends that he's been with the whole time, also get appointed to be people over the affairs of the province of Babylon. The king allows it. A final thought for us to talk about as we go today. Daniel and his friends didn't want to disobey God. They put their faith and trust in God to provide for them, and God provided for them. So the next time you're wavering, figuring out whether you should obey or have faith in God, I pray and I encourage you to pick to trust God, to pick to obey God. It's sometimes tough to do. Talk about it with somebody you trust this week. And until next time. Oh, wait, hold on. There's some questions I have. Okay? Just random, out of the way, weird way blue questions, okay? What is a magician in the old days? Like, does he sit there and do card tricks? And why does King Nebuchadnezzar think that they're going to tell him what his dream meant? I really want to know what magicians do in Bible times. It really boggles my mind. Another thing is, it says that King Nebuchadnezzar gave Daniel a great gift. I'm like, what is a great gift back then? Just piles of money? Or maybe because King Nebuchadnezzar had the hanging gardens of Babylon, that Daniel got a plant from King Nebuchadnezzar as a great gift. Who knows? I don't know. Anyways, random thoughts from Matthew. I'll see you next time. Bye!